Why do you want to move to Russia?
Huge possibilities in business. Russia is, and you cannot shut down Russia, even though some unfriendly countries try to. It's just impossible. You can get a lot from Russia. In order to break into Russia in business, the language is most important. But you need to understand through language the Russian mentality. That's something that's worth, I don't know, it's priceless. Sure, Moscow, St. Petersburg, and then there's this little place called Siberia. The language is the key to that. And why I want to move to Russia? Well, I've never felt more home as in Russia. And enormousness of things to see, things to do. Nobody needs you there in Russia without work and money. This border situation in States, approximately actually 1 out of 10 is legit refugees seeking for asylum. In Russia, it's for me, it's the best place in the world. I'm like a Russian expat outside Russia, but every time I travel there, it feels like coming home. Because of this foreigner background, I can use it to my advantage, to the benefit of the world, to make it more, not just traveling, but making influence, influence people.
Okay, first Russian.
Okay. First Russian experience by Igor in Russian. Igor speaking Russian, here we go. Хочу знать, на каком уровне мой язык.
You're speaking in Russian, and when you speak with me, I can say the levels too, and I think Igor is your level. What is the salary? If you ask about
Euro.
Yes, it depends on your experience. Yes, of course, manager can get. Yes, guys, also why foreigners like Russia, because we have very low tax налог. He's asking about apartment, how to rent apartment and the prices. I can say that is Russia plenty for IT jobs, or hard the IT market is open? So if you're IT specialist, welcome. IT, very good salary now for IT specialists. Last question about relationships. How did you meet? Yeah, love story. How did you meet your wife? Great. So I said we can talk a little bit about some topics, and then people can write questions, we can ask, and then we can continue.
Definitely. So guys, I'm Igor in Russia, as the name says, I'm the world's only Igor in Russia. No, just kidding. And I'm a foreigner lived all my life in Europe, in Finland. And I was originally born in Soviet Latvia. But since 2016, I fell in love. I felt a huge, unbelievable connection with St. Petersburg, and that's the beginning. And since 2019, I started YouTubing because I wanted to share the amazing, I think something that a lot of people lack of, which is seeing the beauty of Russia. So I wanted to share. So yeah, what else about me? Well, this is my side thing. I'm also an explorer. I explore the First World War bases in Finland. And basically, I'm also filming own series all about Russian influence on the world. I filmed tons of locations, of Russian influenced locations in Finland, because Finland was part of Russia. Then filmed whenever I can. I filmed the Russian and Soviet influences around the world. I want to continue filming more and more. So shortly about me, it's hard to say shortly about something about myself, say something. So I said, from this Igor in Russia perspective. I'm also a musician. I have a huge goal, what I want to achieve with my channel, but trying to fight the YouTube algorithms currently, so that more and more people will find me. Guys, everybody hit the like button for Anna. Anna is doing the first live stream in this duo live stream, and I'm honored to be the first one. We did it already with Anna, a video on my channel about, lots of different stuff. From a teacher perspective, you hear more about Anna's history. So pretty recent video with Anna. We have over a 1 hour discussion, plus I made some clips about relationships, about what else? Learning Russian. We learned to say hello in 3 different ways in a short period of time.
So Igor, could you tell us, please, What is your channel about? And very interesting question. I think we can start from this about travel to Russia, because I remember you told me that you share for people information how they can get visa, because some countries now has can get
Easy.
visa when they
Mm-hmm.
can travel to Russia, and how people can go to Russia. Also, some my friends from Italy, for example, and
Yes. Yeah.
from no, from Europe, I can say, and they're thinking how they can go to Moscow.
Mm-hmm.
Should they use? Of course, we don't have direct flights, and should they use Turkey or Dubai or maybe Helsinki? Because I heard some problem with one Russian girl when she traveled from Europe, or maybe from England. She
Mm-hmm.
traveled to St. Petersburg, and when she came to Finland, I don't remember was it Helsinki on which city, and
Probably.
she had 2 hours for transit, and Finland sent to her, stay in airplane, you can't move, stay in airplane, wait, and when gate will open you can go. And she said, but I need maybe to buy something, I need go
Yeah.
out maybe to get fresh air. They said no, and she was sitting in airplane. So this is
Okay.
interesting. Can you tell something how is the best go to Russia from other countries?
Yeah. Let's get back to that situation a bit later. But from the beginning, my channel is. I have maybe too much videos, especially about St. Petersburg. Then I started to expanding to Kaliningrad. This summer I was in Moscow. Now, last month ago, I was in Veliki Novgorod and expanding to different smaller or bigger cities all around, depending on my possibilities. And I want to share basically, I personally want to see those cities and life. And what I love about Russia is like, you know, the Russian normal life. Sure, sightseeing locations, but then I go to like grocery stores, I go to shopping malls, film my Russian apartments, the daily life, so that my aim is to bring people, maybe in some ways it might be sounding weird currently, but bring people closer to each other through real life and real people. Because no matter what your political or what your prejudices about, there's a huge amount of prejudices about Russia in the world, too much. And I've lived all my life in a country which has tons of stereotypes and negative views about Russia, mostly because of history and most because of how the history's been reminded to people and brought in a certain way. And I throw it all away. This is reality, and I'm sure my vision is that when people actually could, even with your help, for example, say hello in Russian, go first of all get interested in traveling to Russia for whatever reason. So you can say a couple of words in Russia, then you will see how the real normal day-to-day people will treat you. And I'm pretty sure it's going to be excellent, because everybody who's been to Russia always usually says, oh my God, the people, the hospitality, it's amazing. And it's pretty contrast to what you hear in the news. The Russians are evil. They're, all that horrible stuff. So this is my aim. And I filmed tons of videos, and I actually I'm the only one who has a Google Maps of every location, every path that I took drawn in a map. It's always in my YouTube videos description. So you can click on the Google Maps so you can see exactly. If you want to go visit, forget about Google Street View. Forget about it. You can click and you can walk on those streets on certain locations with me, because you click on the location on my map, will open a link to my video, to the YouTube video. And I have all of my 1,660 videos that I made. They have been mapped out. So this is what I do. But I film location stuff, but also, yes, because I'm a foreigner, basically a foreigner, even though I have Russian roots and a bit more understanding about Russian. But basically, for some people, for Europeans, I might be a Russian, and for Russians, I'm European. So I have this possibility to use my status and maybe show you how to travel, for example. And I did this way before. So I have guide videos about exchanging money, for example, if you're staying a longer time, you can get a Russian bank card. Yes, you can get it for 15 minutes, no problem, as a foreigner, because Remember, I'm the same status as you are as a traveler. So, and also have videos about how to travel, especially in these current times, because there's only few entries you can do as a foreigner, well, as anybody. So I have guide videos and different playlists about it. And one of those is, for example, getting back to your question now, you can, if you want to travel to Russia, first of all, you need a visa. And I made a video about, because right now you can do a e-visa, electronic visa, which is technically it's free. You only have to pay administrative fee of $40 or euros. And there's almost 50 countries that can get this very easy e-visa in, I think it's like 3 days or something like that. You can check it out, check that video on my channel, and it has all the necessary links. So when you have that visa, you can travel to Russia, let's say St. Petersburg, for example. You can travel, first of all, from Helsinki. There's 3 bus lines, and I've traveled in all of them. And I also explain what's the difference, usually the price. And you can travel by that. Then you can also travel, if you know how, there's a certain Telegram group, you can travel with somebody personally, just some guy or woman who travels, and you can, papuchik, how do you call it?
Papuchik, yes.
Yeah,
in Russian language. Papuchik.
Meaning somebody you travel along with. So,
Yes.
but they're as expensive as the buses nowadays, because remember, back in the day, traveling by bus was, I think it was the cheapest. Well, the cheapest were the Russian marshrutkas, small cars, and they traveled back-to-back shopping tours. It cost like 10 to 15 euros. Nowadays, then it was like 27, and after the pandemic, it was like it grew up. So right now it's almost from $50 to €100 for one direction. But still, you can travel by bus, and there's basically 3 main bus lines from Helsinki. You travel to St. Petersburg or to Viborg.
Do you travel by bus from Helsinki?
I traveled back then when there was no buses because of the pandemic. The borders were closed. I traveled
and nowadays.
Nowadays by bus. Nowadays by bus. Yeah, I used to use these patpuchiki, somebody who travels along, and officially they shouldn't be taking you with, because in Finland there's tons of laws. So basically, if you're somebody who takes money from somebody, you should be a taxi driver. And you should have a permit. So they technically, they try to get a lot of people get busted at the border. Are you paying the money to this person? No. Nobody's paying anything. We're friends. But anyway, this is how it works. Then you can travel.
So do you mean that you take someone from some guy who is living in Finland?
All right. And who's traveling?
Or it could be Finland person or Finn or Russian, and you travel with him by his car, and you say just your friends. Mm-hmm.
There's hundreds and maybe hundreds of people traveling daily like this. Yeah.
How about people for example, if someone from Europe, like from Italy, if this person wants to go to Russia, or someone from India, or
it's the best way to choose these buses, because they are all also in English, except the Russian company, which is, I think it's only in Russian. It might be in English as well. And this way you get a proper confirmation on your email, your tickets, and all of this. So it's official. And you can actually return the tickets in case you need to in time. So it's like you will be satisfied with all the system, because it's pretty European in that way, that regards.
So you can say that you can recommend people have transit from Helsinki to St. Petersburg.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, it's the cheapest way, because otherwise you have to travel to Istanbul. Sure, Istanbul? Americans, probably it's easier for them to travel to Istanbul even. And from Istanbul take a flight to Moscow or St. Petersburg. And I think Serbia does this as well.
Serbia.
I think so. I think so. But it's the rarer one. I never heard somebody travel. I think somebody told me that travel. So I get a lot of requests about e-visa stuff, even though I'm not I have a lot of experience, but I'm not a specialist. But I know all the links and I can help people. Then people ask about accommodation, because of this current situation. You cannot get any hotels, right? So you can actually, and I took time because I used this app because I traveled to Moscow and I needed the same service. Ostrovok.ru.
Ostrovok.
Yes,
Yes,
that's
guys,
the.
you know the
Mhm.
website Ostrovok. I also recommend on my videos that it's a website ostrovok.ru when you can book hotel because now people from other countries they can't
Yes.
pay. And so you can book a hotel and then pay by cash in Moscow or in any Russian city when you stay. So you can
Yeah.
use Ostrovok. It's
Definitely, and I think
definitely.
you can pay on location. You can I think somebody said that they could use the European card to pay for the reservation. So it's like system that goes around the boycotts or whatever because hotels.com and different sites don't work anymore. They don't provide services to Russia because of this boycotts and because of this PR whitewashing
Mhm.
or whatever it is. So yes, and I give all kinds of guides about traveling, changing money, taking business cards, that type of stuff. So this is one of the many contents that I do. A lot of people write me also that, oh, I would try to visit, but right now it's impossible. Like, what you mean it's impossible? And that's it's a different thing if you don't want to because of this situation with Ukraine. If you don't want to travel, that's all right. But don't say that it's impossible. It's actually in some ways easier than before. In some ways, for Europeans to travel to Russia. Note that tourism is forbidden from
So, do you
Russia.
mean everyone can go to Russia?
Yeah.
Also, American people, Americans can go
Yes.
easily
Yes. And I made a
and get
video.
visa.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, it is, and I
So
think
no, some problem. Don't Russia stop visa for some countries, or every country can travel? No, not
I
problem.
think every country can travel, and some countries that are officially because of once again of the situation, they are marked as an unfriendly country because of the actions against Russia. So depending on your what is if you're a man or a female, depending on that. But if you're like a younger male, for example, or they might ask you more questions for certain countries.
Mm.
That's UK, United States, but everybody's gone through and they have to make sure that you don't have any ill will. So there's a lot of details about that because I know that somebody might be questioned or questioned for 2 hours, and then I help people that actually you can, if you miss your bus because they have to go in some part, you can just hop on the next one. I've seen that being done. So a lot of there's more different nuances, more details right now because of this stuff that's going on with.
Yeah, so guys, you can write in comments now, or if you watch this vlog in recorded videos, you can write if you need video, me or Igor, or we can do together and do extra video, and we can talk only about this kind of topic. If
But short
someone
answer is everybody can travel, and if you have nothing to hide, then you will be also let through if you have everything fine with the papers. A lot of questions about the money, how much you can bring. You can bring 10,000 in cash.
dollars,
Dollars or euros? Yes, it's the same.
$10,000 and 10,000 euros.
Yeah, altogether it's altogether 10,000. I think that should be enough. In Russia, that's a huge money. If you're staying for 1 week, I would say, depending on, I don't know where you want to stay at, but few hundreds of you. Yeah.
If you're not going to buy diamonds.
Yeah, if you're not gonna buy diamonds to your Russian girlfriend, then hundreds of euros is okay. But sure, bring 1,000, but make sure to exchange it in a good place with a good rate. And it's safe in Russia, but the rate changes every day. And if you have $1,000 and there's a difference, let's say five rubles weaker for some reason. Right now it's like 102 rubles. Let's say it's 97 all of a sudden. You lose every dollar, you lose 5 rubles, and that's a lot of money. Especially when 500 rubles in Russia, that's a one meal already in Russia.
Yeah.
A restaurant meal, it's let's say for one person 1,500. I don't know about Moscow. Let's say proper meal in an okay place, 2,000 rubles with drinks included. So that's $20. But if you want to go Stalovaia style, which is Russian canteen, you can get it for 300, 400 rubles, and you get your tummy full of food. And I also do Stalovaias, by the way. People love Stalovaias. I buy the cheapest stuff, but the best stuff as well. I don't do anymore. I don't have any touristic stuff. I don't want to go to tourist places. I love to eat in Stalovaias or like buy Russian fast food. And if my wife is with me, then we might go to like a good Georgian restaurant. Well, good, normal. The best, tastiest restaurants in Russia, I think, Anna, tell me if you agree. The best places are the ones that locals go to. It's not necessarily in the center. It's in the suburban centers, because you have a lot of centers all around Moscow, all around St. Petersburg. Probably the best ones are even further from the center, like where everybody go to, because that's where people live. Do you agree?
Yes, of course. Restaurants. I know the restaurant Mumu, for example.
Yeah, Mumu. It's a burger place, right?
Not burger. It's a Russian home cooking food. Mumu, when it's a cow.
Yeah. Well, in St. Petersburg, Mumu is actually a burger place, so it's the same. It's different.
In Moscow, we have weight of restaurants. Mumu, it's cheap one. Of course, it's not high and top level of food, but it's middle class food. And also on Red Square, you can find this cafe, and actually in front of this restaurant, it's some cow, and you can try Russian food like vinaigrette or olivier, ensalada russa. Russian borscht soup, and so on, and they have cheap.
I had the best solyanka. It's a Russian soup, solyanka soup.
Solyanka soup
in Novgorod Basic Stalovaia like a month ago. It was amazing. It was simply amazing. So, and it cost me like $1.
Guys, watch full video, because in the end we will speak about love. So I will ask Igor. Yes, and I have question from one my Russian subscriber, of course, from woman, and she asked why Igor married with Russian girl. Can he compare Russian woman and Finland woman? So, but we will speak about it later, because it's interesting.
I have pressure on me.
Okay, could you tell us, please, about your Russian language studying? Yes, as I know, you were born in Soviet Latvia, but you came to the Finland when you were a kid. And how did you learn Russian?
My language is I never studied Russian, and that's why. Well, my wife says it's getting like amazingly better, but for you European or for your global people, not Russians, my language is like basically on the level of a native, but the Russian person will see here and there, start to hear pretty fast some accents, and maybe because I don't have enough of vocabulary, but I can manage basically to live and explain myself. And you can always say, by the way, I'm a foreigner, and people like, okay. But anyway, that's my special card. But so I never studied Russian, but I spoke Russian only at home, which means it's on an elementary level. But somehow I have this foundation of language, which means ever since I fell in love and opened my eyes to Russia and started to go there like almost weekly since 2017, it's been getting better, because I absorb Russian very fast, because for me it's easier, sure. But if I would study currently, and also with my wife, for example, I spend more time watching movies and programs. That helps a lot. And same thing with my English. Why my English? I think it's pretty cool sounding. It's
very good. Awesome.
Because I studied, but then again, I made rap music. So I heard tons and thousands of music, and I practiced my rapping for many, many years, since 2002. So that's why, and I absorbed the same way some American styles. Right now, by the way, it's online is the thing, right? Especially when it's hard to travel if you want to travel to Russia. But Russia, it's a language that you definitely need, because despite what you hear, Eastern Europe, you can manage in many places only in Russian. Baltic states, they don't want to speak. Well, they do speak actually. Let's say other Eastern countries, etc., and Russia, of course. So online, it should definitely be the choice of your studying. And I checked out your website as well, because we practice a little bit online on my video on my channel, just saying hello, добрый день. Definitely, you have this platform, and you provide everything that people basically need. I think you're on the right path. And you have a good, by the way, feedback from people. There was a person from Pakistan in your presentation with Pakistan, and was it Kenya? So
Nigeria, from Nigeria. Yes. So I have a Telegram chat. So, and my program is that I have now one Telegram chat is free. Everyone can go on Global Travel, also Telegram chat. And from my course, students get my feedback. So it means that everyone can study by himself. So it's also so this course, it is the best for introverts and for extroverts. For example, if you introvert and you don't like to communicate with other people, you can study by yourself and have chat, type your homework. Or if you're extrovert and you need communication, you can be very active in chat. Like you saw my students, they sent video, for example, the homework, how to say in Russian, good morning, good afternoon, thank you, and people say доброе утро and send a video, and other guys can comment it, and I check personally. So it's always feedback. This is the best also for busy people, will be good.
Yeah, online definitely, and go check out Anna's online platform on the link. This definitely, I think USA and Russia, they should be friends, but culturally that's so awesome, because both are huge countries. Sure, Russia is bigger, but there's like so different. In America, different states have totally different like history, culture, and stuff going on. The food culture is great.
Milanovic family, yes, he also sent something, right?
He said that food is bad, and he said that as a chef. But I know he visited Moscow a lot, but St. Petersburg is the culinary capital of Russia. So I don't agree with you about Moscow, but St. Petersburg should be better, even compared to Moscow.
His is the first restaurants in Russia. They happened in St. Petersburg because St. Petersburg in past it was a capital of Russia, and in Moscow we had a traktir. We called the traktir, means in Russian language something like столовая. It's a place when you self-service and a little bit rude place. And St. Petersburg was the first city in Russia when it starts restaurants and people. Yes, and people.
And also, I think Russia's oldest rock store is in St. Petersburg. I filmed it, so a lot of firsts in St. Petersburg as well. But Moscow is great. Loved it. Want to get back. I will get back to there during Christmas. We should do a live feed or video, not maybe live, but we should do some live stuff and meet up with Joseph, expat American, and get a huge super video.
Yeah. So Igor, next question is about my Russian friends ask me. It will be two questions in one topic. So question first is why foreigners learn Russian. So I have so many examples. I see so many foreigners from other countries who is learning Russian in America, in Europe, especially if it's unfriendly country like America. Why people in America learn Russian? I mean, of course we will not speak about diplomats or military people. I know that there are a lot of military people learn Russian because they want to join the army maybe, or some diplomats. I will not say about people who belongs to politic. Let's say about normal people who is not who doesn't have some connection with politic. Why do these people learn Russian? And for you, second question, why do you want to move to Russia? Because most of people, they especially also Russian people, they must learn English, and most of Russians, they want to move to Europe, especially in Finland, in America, and Russian people interested to know why you foreigners learn Russian and why you want to move to Russia.
Well, yeah, it's. I guess I'm not equivalent to the foreigners wanting to learn Russian, but if I could jump in those shoes once again, so I'd say that reasons why to learn Russia is well, there's huge possibilities that people always like to downplay nowadays about Russia, but huge possibilities in business. Russia is, if we forget this current situation right now, but it won't last long. It can't, and you cannot shut down Russia, even though some unfriendly countries try to. It's just impossible. Like it was said nicely that Russia is so huge that it's impossible. And why you should learn Russia? It's still quite, in many ways, it's undeveloped. A lot of stuff is copied from the Western because Russia has been in a Russian Federation since the 90s. That makes it 30 years. So there's a lot of stuff that can be developed fast. And right now, when a lot of Europe, thousands of companies left Russia, there's always possibilities. So when the situation gets easier, you need to, if you, in the business aspect, you can get a lot of from Russia, but you need to in order to break into Russia in business, the language is most important. Of course, you will have maybe some people, translating, but you need to understand through language the Russian mentality. That's something that's worth, it's priceless. So definitely because of that aspect. And then again, people just wanting to learn more. I think there's a lot of popular languages, but Russia is definitely something there's so much history and culture in Russia that's like it's so you cannot understand how much. So in order to get into that, tap into that world, language is once again the possibility. And then again, maybe travel and tourism. Sure, Moscow, St. Petersburg, and then there's this little place called Siberia, and with all the world's huge, places, and you cannot go there without speaking Russian. So depends on what you're searching for. And then again, then a lot of people want a Russian girlfriend or wife, and then again, the language is the key to that. Just mentioning few choices, and why I want to move to Russia. Well, it's my personal view. I'm not comparing. I don't want to travel to Russia because it's better there, or I get more money there. It's nothing like that. It's purely, for me, it's purely emotional. And for me, for example, I have the history. I've never felt more home as in Russia, and that's something I just noticed when I traveled properly first time. I've traveled to Russia before, and I always felt something, but there's something spiritual about it. The Russian people, of course, my religion, the lifestyle, the enormousness of things to see, things to do. For me, it's something, it feels like home. So that's the main reason. And personally, I feel like I have this goal that I want to achieve. First, I have to become like a full-time travel vlogger. I don't know what I am. I have also other channels than YouTube. I have Facebook, for example. So I try to, if there's possibility doing this full-time, I have no reason not. If you have work, and if you want to move to Russia, that's fine, because nobody needs you there in Russia without work and money. Nobody needs this. Yeah. But
in any country, I think no one is waiting you without money, without working. Yeah.
Well, it depends. There's a lot of Europe was full of people, and the same thing. America gets they are called economic. Some are refugees, but a lot of them. For example, I watched today. Once again, I love this channel on YouTube. Peter Santinello. He travels. He makes this series about America, and he's asked about this border situation in States. And there's millions of Mexicans and South Americans traveling to Russia illegally. And they cross the border and they seek for asylum. And I heard today in this interview that approximately actually 1 out of 10 is legit refugees seeking for asylum, and others are like so-called economic people. But so people travel there, and if they're with other reasons. So, and Europe is full of these people as well. And sure, that's a legit reason for them. But Russia don't take people in just for for you to enjoy some kind of huge social benefits, which, for example, many European countries offer. But yeah, that's the reason. True. I feel if we get serious in Russia, it's for me, it's the best place in the world. Like St. Petersburg, especially, and I guess I'm personally just finding myself, because that's something I guess didn't know, but that's something that I always wanted to see, and I was. I'm like a Russian expat outside Russia. I wasn't born in Russia. I didn't live in Russia, but it feels home. And yes, I'm being honest, and I always say that to everybody. That's the reason. But every time I travel there, it feels like coming home.
So do you mean that you love Russia because of Russian mentality,
for
Russian
right
people?
So for all the right reasons. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Russian people, Russian mentality. Yeah, I love even the most Russian thing, which is not something that tourists love and want to see. I love Russian suburbs. I love the Khrushchevkas I think they're the best.
Wow.
The suburbs, the neighborhoods, not necessarily the apartments. I love, but there's probably some kind of a nostalgia thing as well, because Soviet countries are all alike. Soviet neighborhoods are all alike. So I feel like every time I go to older, like 60s, 70s era, Khrushchevka, Brezhnevkas, it feels like coming home in some ways. Even though I live in Russia, in St. Petersburg, in much newer apartment. But I love the sound. I love the vibe of the life. I love when there's a lot of people. Every time you go into your Russian house, for example, it's always, it seems like there's always new neighbor that you meet, because there's so many people. And it's a good contrast for me to Finland, where it's very little people, and sometimes you see almost nobody. So yeah, that type of emotional answer I can give you. But
thank you.
I feel like I could show you, because of this foreigner background, I can use it to my advantage, to the benefit of the world, to make it more equal in this from the travel aspect. But it depends. Let's see where this goes. I'm trying hard with the channel, filming tons of. Nowadays, I don't travel to Russia, and I always do work.
What do you want to do if you move to, for example, you said you like St. Petersburg. If you move to St. Petersburg, what kind of job are you going to do here?
Well, I want to do this influencer thing, even though my channel is, I think it's shadow banned right now. I think your channel is as well a little bit.
Yeah.
But I have different projects with this traveling thing. So I hope I can do this and build on my brand. Because I feel this video production I've done to other companies before this situation with Russia and Ukraine. I've done videos to promote Russian language to Finnish people and the Finnish culture to Russian people. So I've done all types of stuff and video projects. I would like to go and travel and explore Russia as a main job, and not just traveling, but making influence, influence people. So I think that's a job also, as you know. Filming videos it's a hard work.
So does it mean that we can call your profession videograph? Is it videography or?
I guess so, a little bit as well, even though nowadays my videos are more, because I want to release more, so I don't edit them that much. But I used to edit, use drone videos and stuff, and make. And now it's like I'm going out, I'm talking live. I'd rather not cut anything, because it's easier to release it. So, and maybe it's also a good thing, because this way it's the most realistic way to show. But videographer, influencer, blogger, YouTuber, a marketeer, social media marketing, and all kind of stuff, and also performer. I think things come together. And I hope I need just a bigger break. By the way, can I ask you what level? Somebody asked my level, but Russian is my native language, but it's not on the same level as the native speaker. But what my Russian? We haven't spoken that much in Russian actually, but
yes, we have.
What level it could be?
Tell something. Can you tell a few words about yourself in Russian, as you said?
And you will make And this way you can put me on some level. Is that so?
Yes.
All right. I think I want to. All right, let's go.
No, just 2 minutes, 2 minutes
I've never
in
spoken
Russian
in
about.
Russian. I just answered some questions on live streams sometimes. All right. Здравствуйте.
Okay, first Russian.
Okay. First Russian experience by Igor in Russia. All right, Igor speaking Russian. Here we go. Здравствуйте, меня зовут Игорь. Я живу в Финляндии, но моя мечта жить и снимать Санкт-Петербург, Москву и всю Россию. Я уже 4 года снимаю мой канал и стараюсь продвинуть, возможно, быстро, возможно, высоко мой канал. Сейчас очень приятно стримить Анна Global Travel и разговаривать о России. Интересно, какой уровень у меня на русского языка. И это B1, C1 или A1 или что там такое, не помню. Хочу узнать, на каком уровне мой язык. Thank you.
Ага, хорошо. So guys, now Igor, he was speaking in Russian, and I'm a professional Russian teacher. Really, I can understand your level without exam. Of course, I can say it's 100%. So when you speak with me, I can say the level. So we have the system of, I can say for everyone, because most of people, they don't know the system. So we have a system of languages. It's from A1 till C2. It's A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. For understanding, C2, it's native speaker. For example, I'm Russian and my Russian level is C2. And it's the same level for English, for Italian language, for others. What does it mean? That A1 means when you reach A1, it's elementary level, means you know basic Russian words and you can speak with easy sentences. When you use Russian cases for only nouns. So means that you can change endings in correct way for nouns. For example, you will say это мой кот. This is my cat. From the level A2, it's basic. You can use adjective. So you will say это мой рыжий кот. It's my red cat. And you will use the adjectives in correct way. And your vocabulary is more, and you know more grammar rules. A2. Next level B1. This is middle one. It's pre-intermediate. Means that with this level you can pass exams and start to study in Russian university. You have wide vocabulary, but you still can do some mistakes. Next, B2, and I think Igor is your level B2. What does it mean? Yes, B2, maybe B2. I didn't speak with you a lot, but what I listen now, I can say B2. What does it mean, B2? B2 means that you don't need to learn any grammar, because on the level B2 we stop learning grammar. It's the same in English. It means your level is upper intermediate, and it means that you can speak very well, but you need to improve, of course, your vocabulary. Yes, because you can do some small mistakes in when we use, for example, the verb делать, because it's different. How we say in English, to do or to make. What is the difference? Some synthetic. Yes. So, and you just need to improve your vocabulary. I also work with students with the level B2. So it's for you. Just you need to learn syntactic.
Synthetic.
Not synthetic, yes, synthetic. So you need just to share your vocabulary and correct some logic mistakes, in which situation is better to use some words. So very good. And C1, it's a level of native speakers, and C2 it means and for level C1, C2 we read like Pushkin,
Yeah, it's hard for
Bulgakov,
me. It's very hard for me.
Dostoevsky. Yes, it's hard. It's also hard for Russian native speakers. So only, for example, I can read because I am a teacher, and then normal people, they can't read Dostoevsky. It's only people who graduated philological faculty. So something
I can
simple.
film locations of Dostoevsky in St. Petersburg, Senna area, but I don't read
Yeah.
it.
Someone asked my student Anu about his plans in Russia, and he said he's going to open a strawberry shop in a Russian city, Krasnodar. Yeah, it's very good business, guys. Also, I speak about it on my course about jobs, because I not only teach you Russian grammar, I also teach you how to find job. I also have experience in office. I was working 15 years. Also, I was a human resources HR specialist, and I also help people to find job. I always ask about themselves. They tell me about their personal life, so I can analyze people and I can suggest. I'm like a job manager, and I can recommend for everyone which job is good for you in Russia. I can't say about all world because I am specialist only in Russia. And I saw that this guy, he was working like a courier. Courier, it's a person, it's like delivery guy.
Courier, yeah.
Yeah, courier, it's
the same word.
easy. Yes, it's easy job to. It's easy to get this job, but it's very hard job. You must work 15 hours per day to get some small money. It's very really a terrible job, especially with climate when it's rainy. And
winter.
I knew. In winter, yes, and I knew that this guy from Malaysia, he is extremely good cooker. He every day he was showing to me picture, Anya, look how I cook. Yesterday I cooked this chicken, and I was thinking, and what I did? His name is Mohammed. I said, Mohammed, try to work a chef. Because I know in Moscow people are very busy, and people don't have time to go to supermarket to buy food to cook. Most of people in Moscow very business people, and people need this kind of people who can go for do food shopping, come to their apartment. Some people hire personal chef, and you know what he did? He came to Indonesian embassy. And he got a job, and he got a salary in twice. Then he got like he was a courier.
Nice story.
Because of me. So it's one example, and I have so many examples when I recommend to my students also help with job. What is the salary? People ask about. Guys, salary, what is the salary? If you ask about chef, I remember Milatovich family, the church, he told me, he also working like a chef. He said the salary is about 60,000 rubles, from 60 till 100,000 rubles. It's how many dollars?
$600 to $1,000 approximately. Well, euros. 600
yes.
to 1,000 euros.
Yes, it depends on your experience. If you're if
but
you're really
Moscow,
good chef.
Right? This is Moscow.
In Moscow, yes, in Moscow.
So it's a bit less in St. Petersburg and much less everywhere else.
Yeah, so for example, if you're from India, you can go to Indian restaurant and work like Indian chef, for example. Yes, of course, manager can get $2,000 manager.
That's a lot of money in Russia, by the way. That's like...
Yeah, it's a lot of guys.
In Europe, that would be like, I don't know, 6,000-7,000.
Yes, guys, also why foreigners like Russia, because we have very low tax, налог. Just as taxes, just 13%, really, because for example, in Europe, in some places it could be 50%. So, for example, you earn $2,000 and 1,000 you must give to the government. In Russia, no, just 13%. Igor, for you, Todd is asking.
Are you planning to any more trips further inside Russia? You presented more of Moscow than most people who vlog from Moscow. And thank you very much. And yes, I did this I was 6 days in Moscow, and I filmed 60-something videos. There are walk videos, there are shopping mall videos, there are like sightseeing videos. I've been You can check out from my channel, from any videos, Google Maps, you'll see how many places, because it's already full, and that's my first visit to Moscow. But I want to film more Moscow. I have a lot of videos coming from St. Petersburg, Veliki Novgorod, and yes, definitely planning going further inside Russia. If I have time, if I could able to maybe find a sponsor as well to collaborate with someone, some company or some organization, I would travel like all the way to Vladivostok. I would devote my life to this, no problem. So definitely in the planning, whether there's a sponsor or not. But if there's no sponsor, I have to use my free time to travel. And when you go to St. Petersburg, if, for example, if I want to go to Moscow, that's 4 hours one way, right? Or through the night. So it's always take hours. If I want to go to Petrozavodsk, the close cities first, because of the time consumption. I have plans to go Pskov, Tver, Moscow again. Let's see where else. I want to see them for myself, and I devote myself. I always film. This way I can share the world, what I see.
A question from Jerome. He's asking about apartment. He said, I think she pays 600 for an apartment. No, Jerome, if you mean $600, so I pay for my apartment. So apartment in Moscow, guys, I will do soon. Really very popular question. I will do vlog about how to rent apartment and the prices. I can say that if you 600, it's in the center. If you stay in the center of Moscow, yes, apartment will be $600. But if you stay not in the center, apartment will be just $200. 200 and
same thing in St. Petersburg. On the outskirts of the city.
Yes, not so expensive, really. $200 or $300. It's one room apartment. So if you rent, for example, with your friend, if you want to live alone, yes, maybe a little bit expensive. But if two people, normally two friends, rent. So I think 200, it's okay. Far from Moscow, 200. The more close, the more expensive.
On the edge of the city in St. Petersburg, it's like a 2-room apartment. You can check out my channel for that as well. I'll also show my apartment in St. Petersburg, which is rented. It's around 200, but it's 50. It's like 50 square meters, so it's 2-room. So it's a bigger room. Moscow is a bit more expensive. That's the difference.
Yes, Moscow is, of course,
and it's probably a bit more further, like in kilometers. It's a bit further because it's the bigger city. But like 40 minutes to the city center by bus and metro, that's normal in St. Petersburg. Around 200, it can be a little bit more, not much less though. And this is a brand new. And I also lived like 10 kilometers from the city center or less. And it was like, it was more expensive. It was 300 and it was older apartments. So it can get worse, same size, older, but more expensive. And the city center on Nevsky, probably the same thing, like 600. 800.
Is Russia plenty for IT jobs or hard there? Guys, IT jobs in Russia very, very popular because, because of this last things in Russia, most of IT specialists left Russia. So IT market is open. So if you're IT specialist, welcome. IT very good salary now for IT specialists. Really, we need IT specialists, and it's very popular. So you can go for working. But of course, guys need Russian language to learn.
Depends, and definitely, since less and less international business right now.
Sam asked, "Hi Igor, question: how did you guys meet?"
We didn't actually meet, but we on this YouTube community of Russian vloggers. So. This way, I found you. I knew about you through Joseph video, expat American video. So I was like, hey, this is cool, with you and Milotovich family.
Last question, yes. Last question about relationships. Igor, tell us, please. Very interesting about your love story. How did you meet? Yeah, love story. How did you meet your wife?
How we met? Shortly, not gonna go into details, but we met on the Victory Day. Which is I came to my dream. That was my dream come true, and actually I started my well, it happened that I started my YouTube career on that week. I took off for 1 week, and my aim was to finally see the Victory Day in Russia. And okay, not Moscow, but I came to St. Petersburg, and that was
St. Petersburg.
So yes, and after that I filmed every day except the one pandemic year when I couldn't get there. But I filmed every Victory Day since that. But anyway, we met on Victory Day. I saw the Victory Day, and after that there was a flyover, and we met. We went to on a date and had a wonderful day, and the rest is history. But it was maybe hard for her at once because at first because I spoke Russian even worse, much worse than now maybe. Plus I was very, very foreigner in some ways. But then again, I was also Russian in some ways. So yeah, and then we live here. But I wouldn't mind if there's a possibility to have more things to do in Russia, stay in Russia, and maybe move if there's possibility. But let's see where God would lead us.
Good. So, and very interesting that you started your channel, and in the same week you met your wife.
Yeah. Yes.
Awesome. Really.
Yeah. That's.
And how many years do you live together?
Since 19. We lived together since we moved. I lived in Finland. She lived in Russia, but we moved together. But I didn't live there. But we had an apartment there. At first, in the different city center, near city center, and down elsewhere. We kind of moved together, even though we didn't move together because I work in Finland. So since 19 we met, and then it was pandemic. That was hard. We didn't see each other for a long time.
Oh, terrible.
Yeah,
terrible.
We had to fly to Istanbul to meet. We flew 3,000 kilometers altogether to meet, and left separately because she couldn't come to Finland and I couldn't travel to Russia because the border was closed. So and after that we married, and we live here now. But we still have a rented apartment, which feels like home as well in St. Petersburg.
Yeah. So Igor, thank you for your time. It was very interesting talk with you.
As well, thanks for having me, and everybody subscribe to my channel as well, and check out Anna's online course. And also, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to Anna's channel. Let's see if we'll do another live video together as well. If we sometime in Moscow we'll get together with Joseph, and let's see who else, and have a drinking party. No, just kidding. Thanks for having me. I think this was awesome. We covered a lot of topics. Yes, so many. We'll meet again.
Спасибо.
Take care, and bye-bye to Vadik.
Vadik sleeping.
Nice.
Vadik, say goodbye.
All right.
He's very cute.
Yeah, he is. He's the same.